Okay.
Okay, you offered this guy a job
I think what they were
in exchange
implying.
Like
for
boxing?
not trying to go for another job.
So let me put it this way, all right? How about when they used to do, remember boxing matches? Remember they'd offer one guy more money
Fight. Yeah. Anyways,
to fix the fight. Is
Right.
that fixing the politics?
Bribery.
Yes,
so to
actually, no.
speak.
This is a fairly common thing. It's the fact that he actually mentioned it, and it was him, the guy who's very offered it, who mentioned it out loud,
Well,
which is going to make sure that if he's elected in
okay,
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that he
Fine.
didn't.
Yeah, if
Okay.
he ends up being elected, he's not going to be loved by the Democrat Party.
He was offered the job. There's no crime in offering the guy the job. If he chooses, I mean, he is in no way required to run for Congress, yes?
That's true.
He is not.
But
and
they were
so-
bribing him. They were
And
bribing
is
him to
not
do that.
running for Congress basically a job applying for a job?
If that's what you want to say it is.
If he's offered a job that he decides he likes better than this other job, I have no problem with that. Now, the reason that the fight fixing was illegal was because it was not just, we're going to give you money if you throw the fight. It was, throw the fight, we'll give you money. Don't throw the fight, we'll kill you.
But
In some cases, not all cases.
But-
how in this case is that not the same thing?
I
They're saying,
understand what
okay,
he's saying. He's talking about bribery in this case.
However,
If
it's
you
not
Bribery,
throw,
and bribery is illegal.
bribery is, we will give you money if you will vote this way. That's
Isn't it a form
bribery.
of bribery?
if
it
you
is a form of
throw
bribery.
the election, as in here, if you take this job and
Well-
you bow out of the race, well, then Arlene Specter wins. How is that not corrupt, and how is that not just...
Well, Chris, I just mentioned it is
Yeah.
a normal practice.
Oh, it probably
in,
is a normal practice.
It is not just Democrats and Republicans.
Okay.
Heck, I can even tell you the Libertarian Party did more or less with Bob Barr this last election.
It's
I don't have any proof of it, mind you, so don't
It
take
could
my word
easily be
for it,
argued
but-
to be corrupt. However, I cannot say that it's illegal, nor can I see it as being illegal, because
What about-
basically you are offering somebody a job to give up the potential of another job.
What about the RICO statute?
What about the RICO statute?
RICO statute, for basic background, for those who don't know what it is the Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organizations Act.
Oh, I mean besides government. Okay,
Yeah. Basically,
they're part of government. That's
Yeah.
why.
So
Okay.
well, they're asking somebody to drop out of a primary race,
Yeah.
okay.
and as long as they're not adding any threat to this person if they don't,
hmm
then
It's still-
you're basically offering them a job.
To give up this job.
Offering them one job in exchange instead of another job.
Look up the RICO
If you're-
statute for future reference,
So-
Chris.
That part I don't have a problem with. Now, like I said, the other guy, as long as this person is under no coercion, negative coercion to not
I know
apply
about
for the
that.
job, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, because well, I mean, hell, if the people don't like the other guy, they're not going to vote for him.
Okay.
It's the primary. In any primary, well, in most any primary, there are tons of potential candidates.
Yeah.
Okay, well, here's something. You two, anyways. Remember, we talked about the accidental killing of Ayanna, was it Jones, in Detroit? The 7-year-old who got shot by a SWAT team.
Yeah.
Yes.
This comes out from the Detroit mayor bans TV crews from raids, as if that's really going to stop anything. Of course, it does mention
as
that.
you described it to me, it actually might, because the
Yeah,
way
it might
the
have,
methodology used was for the sake of getting better ratings, not for the sake of better
Right.
police
When
work.
they could have picked the guy out front earlier that day, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I could see that as I don't see that as
Well, it is part of it. It is part of it, but
I don't see that as the correct response, but I can see that as
it's a legitimate thing because especially
No.
when it mentions that Evans here, that'd be the police chief Warren Evans, right?
Mhm.
Before this happened, he actually was part of making sure the city had a lower crime, taking care of the crime problem. And fewer homicides and non-fatal shootings indicate that his methods were working before this happened. So it was largely going to be a case of faulty reasoning based or faulty incentives, essentially, I guess, right? But yeah, it was simply the fact that he wants to pull cameras out kind of suggests that they also don't want to see people to see what the police are actually doing as well.
Well, I think in this case,
This is
I'll play devil's advocate and give the
Right.
mayor the benefit of the doubt, because where the guy flat out said, the guy in charge of the raid flat out acknowledged that he did it this way for the sake of getting better ratings. Okay, we need to take that in. It's a logical conclusion that you need to take that incentive away from him making the same mistake again. Is it the right answer? Probably not. But is it an answer that one could logically draw to?
Of course,
Yes.
I do have a next part of it too. It's where I originally got the link from it is from Free Agents. It's free with the first three free agents with the first two E's being threes. Freeagents.ning.com. Here's this guy's reasoning. This guy is calls himself Lounge Daddy. So it's a commentary on. We're commenting on someone's commentary.
Yeah.
Number one, the mayor is reining in the police chief, according to the article, right, by leaving him alone. And two, fewer homicides and on-fatal shootings could be thanks to policing. It could also be, and he thinks, Lounge Daddy thinks, due to the rapid decline of Detroit population, which actually is a very good case. Correlation does not mean causation, after all.
Yeah.
Correlation doesn't mean causation, but correlation also doesn't preclude causation.
That is true as well, yes.
Correlation means it merits further study.
As a study, population decline is hardest in the Detroit area, and is also happening all over Michigan as well.
So, like I said, I can see this as the mayor making a bad decision, but I can see how it could be a well-intentioned decision.
Of course, now we mentioned this, unless you guys want to talk about it a second, I do have something to make us a lot happier.
Or,
Ninjas rescue student from muggers.
I heard about that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
They decided to mug this German. The muggers decided to mug this German foreign exchange student in front of an Australian ninja dojo.
And they chased him.
And the guys inside see it.
And there was a guy up front that didn't see, probably wearing his black uniform, who got in touch with his sensei. And by the way, the name of the dojo is, hold on a second.
Tenshi.
Thank you. No, it was Ninja Senshi Ryu.
Senshi.
Yeah.
Senshiru? Is that how you pronounce it?
Senshi. Oh. I thought you said Tenshi.
Oh, okay. Senshi, yeah. Anyways.
Okay, so Ninja Warrior School. I thought you said Tenshi, which is angel, which is why I found it very amusing. Ninja Angel School. But Senshi actually makes more sense.
I mentioned this 3 days ago to him when I was, 2 days ago, yeah.
2 days ago.
Yeah, when I was visiting him and his family, and I must have misheard. He must either misheard or I must have missaid. But yeah,
I think that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome because they're mugging the guy, which is not awesome. And then they look up, and the entire school empties.
Yeah.
A bunch of guys in black uniforms suddenly appear.
I can just imagine the mugger.
with swords, sickles, throwing stars, nunchucks.
Well, okay, I don't mind, but I can just imagine the mugger's like, okay, this woman's easy. And then...
Oh shit!
Wait a second,
The last comment on this thing is just wonderful. Another ninja, Steve Ashley.
Well, they're in Australia.
Said it was probably the worst place in Sydney where they could have taken him.
That's awesome. That's great stuff.
You should have seen their faces when they saw us in ninja gear coming towards them.
I would have paid money to see that.
That would have been awesome.
Get your pay-per-view tickets!
Don't we only ever see this in, like, movies?
Exactly. Only movies.
And isn't it like this probably the same look in people's faces
Yeah.
that happens too? Oh god, that's fun.
Yeah.
Alright, so we are currently at about 50 minutes in, and so let's continue with stories. And we'll have to be quick on a lot of mine here. Do you have anything else you want to bring up?
I have a Obama orders more workers to golf. Declares buck
I have-
stops with me.
I have a lot of those here actually. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, on this same story, Obama's